Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. Today I'm taking you to Nan Bei Ho, a rare Taiwanese restaurant located in Bayside, Queens, New York. Taiwanese cuisine is directly influenced by Chinese cuisine, but has characteristics that are distinctly Taiwanese, such as Taiwanese breakfast and the bento-style meals. In this video, I will walk you through some signature Taiwanese dishes. You'll see a variety of them and my thoughts about them as they're presented here at Nan Bei Ho restaurant. Today we're at Nan Bei Ho, one of the few Taiwanese restaurants in Queens. We're out near Bayside, and we just ordered 7 dishes. Taiwanese food is pretty unique when it comes to Chinese food. We've ordered many dishes that represent Taiwanese food. So let's take a look. We were first presented with some free tea and soup. Okay, the first dish is a complimentary soup. Complimentary soup looks like this. It's nice and hot. And this soup is filled with pork. So let's give it a try. Okay, it's nice and salty, but it's nice and meaty too. And just hits the spot. It's a very thin soup, but it's very good for a cold day. The more I try the soup, the more I like it. This soup is made of pork bones, and there are goji berries in it, and it's kind of salty, but it's still okay. We ordered a classic Taiwanese popcorn chicken. The first dish we have here is popcorn chicken. Popcorn chicken is basically Taiwanese fried chicken. And there's fried basil in it, so it gives off a very strong basil aroma, which is very fragrant. And it's a Taiwanese favorite, specific to Taiwanese cuisine. The popcorn chicken that we're having is actually white meat, which I'm surprised. White meat is not as juicy, but it's also not very salty, which is surprising. So the basil is actually pretty good on this, and I really enjoy it. We also ordered fried large intestines and a pork chop bento meal. The next dish that we're having is a deep fried large intestine. This is what it looks like. Now, some people don't like the flavor of large intestine because if you don't clean it well enough, you might not like it. There might be some really funky smell to it. I'm going to give it a try right now. And from what I can see, it seems to be stuffed with some aromatics. I think some spring onion. And let's give it a try. Not salty at all. Nice and chewy. Like good organ meat. And I taste the aromatics, which counteracts the funk of the large intestine. But this is very well cleaned, so we don't really taste a lot of the funk. But it's nice and pleasant. People order this more for texture. Okay, the way to eat this this fried intestine is to eat it with some salt that they gave to us in a little cup. Now the salt brings out a lot of the good flavor of the intestines. So let's give it a try again. Eat it with the salt is much better. Here we have stinky tofu and rice cake with pork and preserved vegetables. The next dish that we're having is the stinky tofu. This is what it looks like. Now the tofu is fermented, so it has a nice funk to it. And also there's some pickled vegetables here. It's a pickled cabbage. It's nice and crunchy. So let's have some of the stinky tofu, and I'll tell you what it tastes like. It took plenty of sauce to eat with it. Nice and hot. It's deep fried, and there's a pleasant funkiness to this. It's delicious. The next thing that we'll try is the cabbage. Now the cabbage is nice and pickled. I know this because I've had it before. It's on the sweet side, but it should be. And it contrasts very well with the deep fried tofu. That's why we have it. to balance the flavors, the sweetness and the funkiness of the tofu. Here's the next dish that we ordered. We ordered a pork preserved vegetable rice cake. This is what it looks like. The big white pieces are the rice cakes. Now, let's give it a try. Now, generally, rice cakes are nice and chewy. They're in small little discs that look like this. And let's eat it. Okay, very good. We have the sourness of the pickled vegetables that added with the pork slivers. And the combination of the three makes the rice cakes very pleasant to eat. And once again, not very salted. I've been noticing that most of the dishes here aren't very heavily salted. I like it more salty, but you know, this place, I think you can add salt to your taste. Here's the classic oyster omelet and fried beef and spinach with sacha paste. The next dish we have here is the oyster pancake. Now this is what it looks like. It has a lot of sauce on top of it. Is it once again a signature Taiwanese dish, and it's basically a pancake with eggs, flour mixture, and oyster. Now it tends to be very gooey, so now that I'm going to pick into it, you can see the 2 layers of the egg and also some of the flour. Here's it with the sauce. Nice and chewy, the way that should be. And finally, let's try an oyster. These oysters are nice and small. Let's see how the flavor is. Very nice. Very fresh, by the way. Has a very strong oyster flavor. And the sauce is nice and sweet and goes perfectly with the pancake. Once again, we go for the textures here. So when you bite into it, it's very chewy and once again, very pleasant to eat. The final dish that we ordered is a spinach and beef dish. This is what it looks like. Spinach and beef. It has a interesting smell, but I think it's Chinese sacha sauce. So let's give this a try, see if I'm right. Now this is a very savory dish because of the sacha. Yes, I'm right. It's a sacha sauce. And let's try some of this beef. The beef is nice and soft, well marinated, and it goes well with the spinach. Good combination. One dish that I haven't really mentioned is the bentos. So this is a typical Taiwanese bento. So this has a piece of fried pork. There's a tea egg. There's preserved vegetables, and also there's some rice. And this rice has some shredded, some minced pork that's integrated into the rice. Now this dish is typically Taiwanese. Sometimes you would have a chicken leg to add to that dish. I just had a taste of that, and it tastes typically Taiwanese and has a very smoky flavor to it. There's something medicinal added to it, but it's actually very pleasant. And yeah, it's a good option. Here's a final look as to what we ordered. And once again, all of these dishes are very representative of Taiwanese cuisine. You can't go wrong with ordering any of these. And on top of that, most of these dishes are under $12, and some of them are even under $10. What a bargain. And just a quick invitation to subscribe to my channel. We hope you like this video. We do these videos once a week and hope you can join us. Okay, now the meal is over. I'd like to give my overall impression of the food. What I can say is that the food is generally not salty. So I think they want their customers to salt the food as much as they want. But however, there are a lot of people who don't want a saltier food. So I tend to prefer my food saltier. But anyway, the best dish that we had was probably the stinky tofu, which is that classic Taiwanese dish. It had a nice crunch to it, nice contrast between the sourness, the sweetness, and the saltiness of the soy sauce. And it's classically well done. The other dish that I really enjoyed was the fried intestines. Might not be for everyone, but I really like the texture. It was soft enough for you to bite. It wasn't like gum if it wasn't done well. Another dish that I really thought was good, well done, was the orange, what you call it, the oyster pancake. The oyster pancake was nice and chewy. Once again, it's everything that how it should be done. It had the sauce, the sweetness of the sauce, and it had the freshness of the oysters, and the chewiness of the flour batter is delicious. And what I didn't like as much was probably the bento, which was the pork bento. I felt that the rice was a little too earthy tasting. It didn't have, had more of a, medicine-y type flavor, which I think that's how you would classically do it, but it's not really to my taste. However, the pork chop was good in that dish. The spinach and beef dish was okay. It was mild, but it had, well, I wouldn't say that was mild. It had a strong taste of sriracha sauce. Now, some people don't like sriracha sauce. I like it on occasion, but in this particular case, I think the sriracha may have been a little too strong. There may have been too much of it, but then again, maybe that's how it's supposed to be made. And finally, I liked finally we had the preserved vegetables and pork over rice cake. That dish was really good. In particular, what I liked about that dish was the preserved vegetables, which was done in the most perfect way. It had the sweetness, it had the crunch, and it was just well integrated in the stir fry. Now, there aren't many Taiwanese restaurants around Queens. This is one of them, and happens to be near Bayside. And I would definitely come back here again, mainly because it might be my only option for Taiwanese. But nonetheless, it's good. Another thing that I should mention is that there's also a set menu. I believe it's about $50 for 3 dishes. And I think it's something that is worth looking into if you're coming here with a family. Now, you could add dishes onto that set menu for, I believe, $11 or $12. So you can build your menu according to the number of people that you have in your party. And also, I've been here many times, and through the years, it's been very consistent. It's very good quality, and personally, I think you should come.